I don't know what to expect from this stream. I don't know if anybody's going to actually agree with me or just detest me even more. But after dealing with this fandom for over, what, 20 plus years, I feel like it's finally time for me to just speak out. And no, this is not going to be no expose. There will not be any names dropped. I just personally want to talk about what my experience has been like with the furry fandom in general. Because I feel like a lot of people need to do this, especially if they are furry themselves, because all people like to do is just talk about the negatives, and some just want to talk about the positives, but they never want to actually combine the two. They just want to be like, oh, well, it's all sunshine and rainbows, or oh, no, it's all doom and gloom. And neither of those folks are correct. It's not just all sunshine and rainbows, and it's not just all doom and gloom and ooh ooh. There's actually a lot that goes on within the fandom besides what you hear about from all of these YouTubers who like to expose certain furries. We get it. And I'm just here to just say, look, you could take my word for whatever I say, doesn't really matter. All I'm just here to do is just pretty much give y'all a little story time. Welcome to my strange week, folks. This is going to be a very you know, odd week for a lot of people. I'm going to be doing a lot of streaming. I'm going to make sure I post videos. And there's just a lot that I just know I'm going to deal with. There's going to be some really odd moments. And if TikTok wants to flag this stream for hate speech or whatever the fluff that they want to do, that's perfectly fine. I'm going to be a little bit unfiltered here because there's just a lot that I want to get off my chest, okay? So, here we go. Let me just get something to drink and we shall begin. I'm not going to bore you all with the details on what's a furry and all that stuff. You can look it up online. I've already talked about this. I am simply here just to talk about my experience with the fandom. I'm not going to go into the whole, this is how I became a furry. No, we're just going to get straight to the point, okay? If you want to ask me those type of questions, feel free to DM me and I will gladly answer any and all questions that you have. Again, if it feels like that I'm a little frustrated, I am not. It is simply just me talking about my experience with the fandom, and that is that. I don't have the time to debunk a bunch of fallacies that I hear about this fandom and whatnot. I'm just simply just talking about me. Only gonna focus on me. Okay? Alright, so let's get started. So everyone that joined, welcome. I am Wilkins, 30 plus year old gynosexual poem that you need in your life or not, doesn't matter. Let's begin. Day one and part one of my three-part stream where I'm going to be doing this for an hour each or 2 hour each, depending on how long this takes. Let's get started. First impressions of the fandom honestly were positive. When I was young, I pretty much expected, nothing but that. Where I was introduced to a lot of characters from Disney, from Nickelodeon, from Cartoon Network, and even from just old comics or whatever my father introduced me to, or even my mother or my grandparents. I was pretty much always introduced to anthropomorphic characters that told me stories or taught me something about, how to be a better human being and don't steal and be nice to others. And I think we've all been in that boat. And of course, with all these people being in the same boat, we all pretty much deny that we're furries. I'm not a furry. I'll never be a furry. Newsflash. You are technically a furry in some form or facet. If you had some type of thought about a particular character when you were young, or if you admired a certain character, you are a certain percentage of furry. Get out of my face talking about you're not. I am sick and tired of people talking about I'm not a furry, but yet they tell me all of these characters that they just admire when they were young. You're part furry or your percentage of furry. Get over it. Stop crying about it. That's like me saying, oh, well, I'm black, but I don't like rap music. Well, I like some rap music, so technically I like some percentage of rap. You may not like it fully, but You like it regardless. Catch my point? It's annoying. Please stop it. Just admit that you admire what they do, but you don't have to be like, oh, I'm not a furry. Grow up. Seriously. Grow up. I wish people would just stop acting like that. It is not a sin or anything terrible about being a furry. It's just what the other big YouTubers put inside y'all heads to make you feel like that this fandom is just an abomination of mankind. And then you have these social justice warriors coming around attacking people that are furries because they have nothing else better to do with their time. Sorry, just had to get that off my chest. Let's let's just continue, okay? So one of my favorite characters that I pretty much, was inspired by, which helped me to be a furry, was Tigger. Tigger was a very eccentric character who was always hyper and happy and always hopping around. That is the complete opposite of me. I was the type of person that was kind of like standoffish by myself, just kind of like observing everything. So when I see this character just appear out of nowhere, I'm like, huh, Tigger, he's really cool. Wanted to dress like Tigger, act like Tigger. And again, this is when I was 3 years old, 4 years old, 5 years old. So I was like, this character's cool, going to school, acting like this character. And of course, society hits me with the immediate, rebound telling me that I can't act like this character because it's childish. Look how the tables have turned. Now you got folks dressing up like this character, talking about, oh, I remember this character from my childhood. Hypocrites. I tells you, hypocrites. But anyway, so next to that character was Bugs Bunny, who, oh my goodness, wise guy, always taught me that, hey, you need to be wise, and sometimes it's okay to be a wise guy. And he taught me how to pretty much be very strategic in a lot of, situations in my life. And then, of course, we have Barney. Oh, how everyone loved to mock this character. Oh, all the little funny jokes that they would make. And once again, hypocrites, how the tables are turned, because now a lot of my adult friends are like, oh, I love Barney. I remember. You see what I mean? You see what I mean? So one of my biggest issues that I have with this fandom is a bunch of hypocrites. Can't stand it. Every single time. Oh, I like this character, but I don't like this character because they're NSFW or they're too childish. It's like they're all part of the fandom in some form or way, but yet people and they just like to find ways to exorcise people from existence, even if these people did nothing wrong. It's just like a few people done something terrible, and we all can agree. And it's like now we are labeled under this terrible person, and it's just a curse that we just can't get away from. It's just completely unfair. It's like hell of a balls of Hasbin Hotel fans, how they just can't get away from certain allegations from what from whoever, and it's like, well, someone joins the fandom and now, oh, you're part of the fandom, so that automatically makes you a terrible person. Just complete ignorance, and I'm going to be a little bit mean with this, stupidity at its finest. Hypocrites is one of the biggest problems with the furry fandom. If you are in SFW and you meet someone that's SFW, oh my goodness, these two will not shut the fuck up. They will not shut up. It's like, oh, you do this, but I like a character, even though I'm an SFW, that happens to do stuff like this in a suggestive manner, but because I'm more focused on my image on my channel that only has 150,000 subscribers, I have to protect this just so people won't know that I like this. Please kindly be quiet, okay? Everyone has that one character that they like that's quote unquote inappropriate. And I can prove this to you. Remember Lola Bunny? Remember Minerva Mink? Or what's that one character's name? This is not even dealing with a furry. Oh, or someone from South Park. We all have that one character that we looked up to, was like, that character is terrible, that character is awful, but you know what? I like that character. We all have that villain or whatnot that we like. It doesn't make you a terrible person if you like set character. Just as long as you don't break too many boundaries and you know what you represent, that's fine. But it doesn't give you the right to act like a complete dingus to other people and content creators just because you don't share the same views. Just simply don't interact with each other. It's really that easy. Instead of just blocking and banning and kicking these people who are minding their own business. It is a huge problem in this community, and I'm tired of it. I'm tired of seeing it, and it's just completely awful, especially those who are just minding their own business and want to show their support. Well, actually, you can't be a part of this community because you're into this, and this, even though it's technically not a problem. But think of the children, think of the children, and that's one of the biggest excuses that they like to use all the time. Think of the children. Think of the children. That's what they have parents for, okay? Parents that pretty much will be the final determinant on whether or not they are allowed to engage in this content or not. You are not their parent. The parent is the one that pretty much lets them know yay or nay. It's just had to get that out of the way. I don't get it why these two just have so much beef with one another, but I'm so sick and tired of every time I go into a community and it's know this, know that, know this. Now I get it when they say no NSFW and you're SFW, that is perfectly fine. But don't be that same person that says that and then I catch you doing something that you're not supposed to do, okay? And then you get exposed and you're like, oh, I'm sorry, I didn't mean to do that. You know, I was just drunk. Like that's their excuse all the time. Oh, I was drunk, or oh, it's just the hypocrisy is what gets on my nerves. Just be real, man. Like if you're gonna be this way, then be this way. If you're gonna be this way, be this way. And I get why they have to be separate, but it's like if there's like a correlation or there's like an agreement between the two, and the song's not broken, who really cares? A lot of people that I looked up to did some stuff they weren't supposed to do IRL. That's not all that bad, but society just likes to, put people in this little box. And it's just, I get it. When it comes to stuff that's inappropriate, they go to the extreme and expose a little bit too much, even to adult audiences. And SFW, they pretty much try to put you in this safe place, but at the same time, they put you in such a safe place where it dumbs you down to the point where you don't even know what's going on. So you're just like, oh, well, I didn't know that that was a thing. And I didn't know that that person would do that. You see the difference here? You see how it's pretty much bad on both spectrums, and it's like, well, how does one pretty much, you just simply tell the truth. It's just that simple. Like, and maybe not try to make content towards children because children do not understand and comprehend the difference between SFW and SFW. That's why children do not need to be on social media, because they can't comprehend the two because they're young and their brains are still developing. I don't care if they're a genius prodigy child that has an IQ of 300, they still cannot comprehend the two. That's why they're called a minor. Oh, goodness gracious. Choose a side, pick a side, but stop trying to make and villainize certain people just because they do certain things outside their platform. Just simply leave them alone, okay? Well, I like this person, but I found out that they're into this stuff, even though it's not technically a bad thing, it's not my business. So it's like annoying. Absolutely annoying. Judgmental. Stop it. I'm tired of it. It's frustrating. It's irritating. They're grown adults, and as long as they're not doing it with other children, mind your own business. It's like, it's common sense, right? I do it at my job all the time. Just mind your own business. How hard is that? Oh my goodness, they're in a group that's inappropriate. I thought they were SFW. Did you bother talking to them? Did you bother at least getting to know the person? And then before you know it, you'll realize, oh, they're not such a bad person after all. But that's just how they are. That's just how most of them are. And you want to know why? Because they don't really care about that. All they want to do is just protect their little image so that they can just go up in the ranks and get all those sponsorship deals. That's what I mean. Hypocrisy is a big problem with this community, and it's like it irritates me, and I just sit here and I just witness this garbage every single time, and I'm tired of it. And then what makes it even worse is when these folks do happen to grow big and they do something silly, then it just makes the whole community look terrible. And then it's like, well, now we gotta be completely this, or now we gotta be completely that, and now we gotta have these discourse where we have to have 18 plus verified this. It's like, Oh, so annoying. It's so annoying. Just stop. Just simply stop. Well, how can one fix it? There is a simple way to fix this. You set the record straight of what you are firsthand, and then you just make better decisions of who you want people to be associated with. And if you are someone that goes within that route and you deal with certain people, it's probably not the best to follow those people because they're not mature to deal with it. Mentally, they're not mature to deal with. Because I don't know if you noticed, but a lot of people that are in the furry fandom do tend to be within the spectrum of like autism and whatnot. It's been proven they're not bad people, but then there's the ones that really cannot tend to correlate between the two, and then they get all shot and butthurt, and then they want to start banning, blocking, kicking, and whatnot. And this is what makes the community look even worse. They think the NSFW folks are the ones that make the community look bad. It's the SFW wants to do it because they have all of these rules and regulations that would make even a nearby judge just blush like, wow, like really? Like this is ridiculous. Like and honestly having all of those rules do kind of make you suspicious. Like, why do you have all of these rules when some of this is just common sense? Like you shouldn't have to have all of these set of rules for your community if you already know where you stand. It's just this is why I left so many discords. This is why I left so many community groups because it's just it boggles my mind that something so easy is overly complicated. And I understand, I get it. You want to create a safe space and whatnot, and that's perfectly fine. But unfortunately, minors don't fully understand that. It confuses their brain. They can't put the two together, so they're just like, what's a safe space? What's that supposed to mean, right? And especially when you deal with those that have to deal with like so much trauma, good luck. Just good luck. That's what psychiatrists are for. That's what psychologists are for. And I get it, psychiatrists, depending on the one, depending on certain ones, I know there are certain ones where they're like, oh, well, they just give them medicine and that's it. But you got to stop trying to be a superhero to some of these folks and just kind of like let life teach them. Because if you try to be a superhero, guess what? You end up getting hurt in the process. Just be honest, stick to what you're going to do. And if certain people want to talk about, they want to follow and support you, you need to let them know straight up, this is how I am. This is my community. Do you still want to support me? And chances are they may say no. And you may find that super nice individual that's like, you know what, sure, but this is where I mostly stand. And it just kind of feels like, wow, furries are pretty segregated. Probably even more segregated than actual people themselves. It's just, it blows my mind how this community is so like separate in all these different spectrums out of any other community out there. It blows my mind. It really does. And it's just like you have a community that's honestly awesome, but it has all of this controversy because of the sheer utter stupidity that people like myself have to see and witness. Because it's like you take something that's super easy and you manage to make it overly complicated. That is just mind blowing to me. It really is. Folks, I have dealt with situations where people found out, oh, you're into this, I'm going to block you, I'm going to ban you, I'm going to kick you. And when I talk to my other friends about this, that are SFW, of course, or in the other spectrum, they're like, huh, that's kind of silly. Or I find out that they have issues. So another big issue that I have with this fandom, and I think is a big problem, is the constant beef with one another. Why? It's just every single time. You're friends with this person, but you're also friends with this person that I don't like. Well, you can't be in my community because you're friends with this person that I don't like that cheated on me or did this. And it's just, number one, how am I supposed to know? Number two, like, oh, I got a list of all the people that did. It's like, dude, really? Really? I'm just over here just trying to chill and just have a good time. You're telling me all this stuff and it making me feel bad because I know this person for 2 years and now I'm just now learning about this stuff and it's just like, huh. Wow. That okay. Wow. You thought the Sonic community was bad with this? No, 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 no. With the furries, it's kind of like equally bad, probably even worse, because it's like almost every single furry has in their backstory some enemy that they known for years ago, and if you are friends with that set person, even if that person has changed their ways, it's like, no, there's a video about them. They're already been, exercised and they're done. And it's like, okay, but did they do anything as bad as Kuro or anyone else that's been mentioned that's like actually really terrible? No, then why is this person being exercised from society? It's just, oh my goodness. Do not preach to me about forgiveness when you same mother fluffers do the exact opposite to these people. It's just, it blows me away that y'all throw the Bible at people's faces and you just throw the Bible verses at people's faces, but yet you do the exact opposite of what it says. It's just wow, wowie, wow, wow. It's just yeah, it's obnoxious. When I deal with situations with people, I always tell myself I don't have time to be having no enemies or whatnot. So if I have someone that has beef with me because of my beliefs or whatever, even though I try to keep myself super open, I just let them have it. Say, you know what? Yeah, whatever. It's fine. It's okay. And that's just how I keep the peace with people, and that's that. But it's like no one should have to constantly keep living in this bubble where they keep living, they keep dealing with people that just don't like them, and it's pettiness. It's pettiness. And pettiness is another issue that I have. The pettiness. Oh, you called me cute. Oh, that triggers me. Oh, you boot my snoot without my permission. Oh, it's like, why do y'all have so many triggers? Seriously, this is something I have to really bring up. How and why do y'all have so many triggers? How, why, when, who, what? How? Like, to some extent, I get it, but it's like, y'all have so many triggers. And it's like, how do you function? How do you work a job? How do you even serve in the military if you have all of these triggers? It's just, wow. I it's just weird. You thought I was going to talk about, oh, they're overly sexual. Like, really? You thought that was going to be one of my complaints I was going to state when humans by nature are like that? You know what? Again, this is TikTok. I can't really say any of that. Look it up yourself. Just look that part up yourself. And because I don't know who's actually watching this or listening to this that's actually young, so I have to ask your parents. There you go. But anyway, it's just like, the triggers is what really gets to me because I've noticed this with a lot of them. And I've been in this fandom for 20 years. How do you have so many triggers to the point where you ruin relationships, you ruin friendships, you ruin the bonds that you have with family because you have all of this and you won't even take the time to actually want to talk to people so they can help you. I don't understand. Like, how do you expect anyone to help you or whatnot if you're constantly talking about I'm triggered? Don't make fun of Karens and Darrens when y'all have just as equal amount of triggers. How many triggers do I have? I'm gonna be real with you. Zero. Yeah, I deal with PTSD, but I don't let my PTSD stop me from living. It's like, oh, it just, yeah, it's just, it's bad. Another, another thing that I have to really talk about and pretty much expose is favoritism. This drives me off a wall with this community. The favoritism. Oh my goodness, look at this big popular fur. Oh, I gotta get to know them. I gotta get their autograph. I gotta meet them at a fur con. The favoritism is beyond insane. because they're a musician or they're an artist or whatever, or they made an avatar. It is just, it's like, I witnessed this at Furry a lot, and it's so annoying. I'm just here to enjoy, meet people, and then here comes this big fur, this this furry or whatnot from from Greenland or what, Russia. I don't know who they are, bombarding and just causing the server to lag because it's like 60 plus people trying to meet this person. One of the things that annoyed me about virality was when I would go into an instance with 80 plus people and I would lag constantly because everyone's trying to find that particular one person in that instance. That's just not fun for me. And I'm lagging, my friends are lagging. We're like, wow, we got to go to another instance. And what makes this even funnier is that I'm friends with some of those big streamers, and it's always the same thing. Try to talk to them, can't because they have like 60 plus people trying to get a hold of them. It's like the favoritism is obnoxious, it's annoying, and I'm simply tired of it. I really am. I'm simply tired of it because it's like, you have no control over these people. Is how I look. I'm like, you have no control over them. You just let them just. Going back to the triggers thing, the ones where they say stuff like, "I don't add randoms. I don't do this. I don't do that. Don't touch me." No, that it's like, oh my god, like, oh man, I just. And then people look at me, they're like, well, Wilkins, you're the exact opposite. Yes, I'm the exact opposite because that's the thing. I want to be the exact opposite of the stereotypes that the internet keeps interpreting furries as because I'm tired of it. I'm sick and tired of it. I really am over just all of this oh, furries are terrible, furries are bad, furries are this, furries are that. It's just like, but no one really breaks down as to why that's the case or what how this happened or everything. I already have like some idea as to why they're like this, but it's gotten to the point where these certain people that act like this get exposed and then they have to delete their accounts and their lives are ruined. And for some it could just be an accusation and it turns out that accusation is false and it's like, well, screw it. Whoops, whoopsie doodles. The accusation was false, but hey, I still got my views and I still got my money, right? Absolutely pathetic and disgusting. Like the witch hunt and all this stuff. It's just tiring. That's just the word. It's tiring. This hurts me to talk about this stuff because I adore this fandom. I have nothing but good memories of this fandom. All the cartoons, the animes, all the fur cons that I still want to go to. And it's like, this is what I have to put up with every single time. It's even worse on VR chat. Big Fur comes into an instance, and now that instance is super full, and it's like I can't even get in or just to hang and talk with my friends because I have to deal with that nonsense. It's like it never ends. And on TikTok, don't even get me started on this platform. Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness! Like, like with me, how dare I say that I like their content and whatnot, and this person gets triggered and blocks and bans me? It's like the favoritism, the egos of some of these people is just, it blows me away. It really blows me away. And no, this is not what the furry fandom is supposed to be about. How is it, right, when the main goal of the furry fandom is unity and to stick together and we're this divided? Man, I thought black people were more, and I can say that because I'm black. I thought black people were more divided than this, but no, apparently furries are. And it's just, I, I don't understand. Here's another thing that really concerns me about this fandom: their mental health. Oh my goodness, their mental health is what scares me the most. Depressed, sad, suicide. Oh, oops! I'm gonna say what I don't care. Go ahead and flag me, TikTok. I really don't care. Suicidal, or they're just on the deep end, or they're just dealing with so many woes in life, and it's just a lot of what they deal with is really concerning. And I'm thankful for those who are positive examples of the community that do help one another out, talk with one another, and get to see about them. That's the side of the community that I want to see more of, you know. But, you know, hey, it just, this is not what this community is supposed to be like. It was never supposed to be like this. A lot of the stuff that happened in the past should have never happened. I mean, and I get it. The furry community is kind of lost because the fact that we lost the original OG furry. We lost another OG furry, which is Dragnir, which apparently people are like, oh, well, he's like this and this. It's just, I get it. I understand, but it's just like, can the furry community please just get a grip and just calm down? Because here I am just trying to chill and just have a good time and meet people, but it's like it's always a freaking anime episode with some of these people. I'm just trying to get to know people, and it's like, you didn't spend time with me in X amount of days, so you're automatically gone. I met someone that was like that. Who was like, I got all these trust issues and whatnot. If you don't spend time with me every, like every hour on the hour, I'm just gonna unfriend you because apparently you don't want to be bothered with me. Oh, crazy, crazy, just crazy. That's all I can say is crazy. This is the type of stuff that I personally have dealt with. And trust me, the positives outweigh the negatives, but people need to know that this is the stuff that does go on in this community. And if you're willing to deal with all of that, then you're going to be just fine. Now, with all that being said, I do have solutions to the problems. The first one being the SFW and the 18 plus can't get along. Yes, you can. It's called growing up. It's called seeing the differences. SFW streamers, before you go hitting the block ban button, all this garbage, how about you look at yourself? Look in the mirror. Why don't you put out that nice little mirror and just stop thinking about your 100, your million subscribers and whatnot, and just look at yourself in the mirror and ask yourself, what part of me do I need to work on? What part of me is jacked up? What part of me is ugly? And I promise you, you're gonna find at least 10 things that are pretty bad about yourself. Look at that person and then think about that the next time you want to judge someone. Seriously, get a mirror, look at yourself, and ask yourself, what is it I need to work on? Wow, it's a lot. People don't do that. They are so quick to just feel like they're better than everybody else and just forget, oh, that person just like me for real. And I'm just over here just being a dingus, just blocking them and kicking them and not even giving them a chance to be themselves. I have SFW friends. I have like the NSFW friends. I have a lot of friends. Okay, and I'm not afraid to admit this because people are people. All right, people make mistakes. People have their own issues. I'm sick and tired of dealing with people who feel like everyone has to be perfect. I lived that hell throughout most of my life where I had to be perfect. So here I am trying to be the exact opposite of that, trying to show people you can be yourself around me. You don't have to act like a character in front of me. You can literally be me in front of me. It's okay if you make a mistake, you screw up or whatnot. As long as you're willing to mend your ways and do better, that's all that matters. I'm sick and tired of this. Oh no, this is what the. No, you need to be honest with who you really are. If you are someone that does things outside of this platform, it's none of my business. Just be honest, okay? You don't have to hide it. You don't have to be like, oh, I'm not like that. It's just, and I get it. You're not supposed to say that type of stuff, especially if you're building a brand, you have sponsors. But what also kind of confuses me with that part is like, when your time comes when you're an adult and then people find out anyways. You sorry. But now like when you're elder, people find out about this stuff anyway. So what's worse? Your fans knowing about this stuff or your own grandkids and children know about this stuff? I don't know. You choose your own poison. Me personally, I'm just like, yeah, this is my past. Yeah, it's pretty ugly. But guess what? I'm doing better with myself, okay? But if you want to judge me based on past and whatnot, that's fine. Because I guarantee there's some parts of your past that are just as jacked up too. I don't like songs that talk about I'm human and oh show love, and I see the exact opposite in every community that I'm in. The Hatchman Hotel, Hell of a Boss community, the cartoon community, the anime community, the Brony community, and yes, the furry community. Do not preach to me about forgiveness, love, and all that stuff, and y'all do the exact opposite. Seriously, before you even judge. That's why when people want to come to me and talk about, oh, I don't like that person because they do, I want to tell them to shut up. Oh, that's not nice. I know, but I'm going to say it again. Just shut up. Because I guarantee you, if you go around your family, there's someone that probably does the exact same things that they did. Don't you dare act like you're some fritzy princess that does nothing wrong. I will lose all respect for you if you act like that around me. Stop being fake. I'm tired of it. There you go. That's how you solve that issue. You make wrong decisions. You tell yourself, this is who I'm going to deal with. This is who I'm going to hang with. But the one thing I'm not going to do is judge because I could be like that person. Okay? Okay. If the furry community could do that for me, that would be great. Just saying. It's worse than the brony community. I'll talk about that in another stream. And then what else? The entitlements, the egos and whatnot. Acknowledge people what they do, but please stop praising them like they're gods. If I see a person, they're surrounded by a bunch of other people, I'm walking the other way. I'm sick and tired of seeing it, all right? It's freaking idolism. And for those of you that are saved, already know what I'm talking about. I'm tired of seeing it. I'm just going to walk the other way. It's annoying. It's frustrating. It's tiring. And it's just, good God, can people just get a grip? It's great to admire people and tell them that they're awesome and stuff, but to go to so far to the extent where you're stalking these people and you're trying to be like these people and you're trying to do what they do instead of having some type of personality of your own, that's where I kind of question the fans that follow that big streamer. It's like, okay. It's not just furries, but it's pretty bad in the furries. It's pretty bad. I had to unfollow one big furry streamer because of this, because it's just obnoxious. I got tired of it. It's like, oh my goodness. Every time, all I see in the comments is just some of the silliest nonsense I ever see in the chat. Just, oh man, it's like the intelligence of humans just devalued by 5 or something, because I don't get it. Whatever. It's just, yeah. And everything else. Honestly, a lot of the solutions to these gripes that I have can simply be if people just shut up and listen more. There's way too much that goes on in this community where people like to judge, expose, go on witch hunts, exercise people, like immediately eliminate them. Listen, the only time someone should be eliminated is if we learn that they are an actual pedo and, they actually did something to a kid. Common sense, they're gone. Like, there is no being redeemed from that. Understandable. The only redemption that you're getting is in your own path away from us. I think we all can agree on that, right? Right, TikTok? Where's my warning? Oh, I'm not getting a warning for that? Oh, okay. Whatever. Okay. This app is so silly sometimes. So we can all agree on that, right? And anything else is just kind of like, okay. Like, first off, what I hear about this stuff from this fandom about, oh, I was harassed online. That's when I say you don't say anything. You just simply just sit there. You let the person just spam your comments. You use the video recorder app and you just let the comments flow. You get you some popcorn. You just watch it. And then you just, guess what? You use that in court, file it under harassment, and file for, so you can have a cease and desist. There's not cease and desist. A restraining order. That's my apologies. A restraining order, and there you go. It's so easy, but everyone has to just make it so dramatic. Like, oh my goodness, this person is. They're just like, they're harassing me. That's when I say, okay, you gave them 3 chances. Hit that block button, and they're going as far as to violate the law. then just record it. Just record what they do. Send it to the police and they're done. It's so easy, but people just they gotta make soap operas. They gotta make freaking soap operas about their genre. And I'm just there's certain YouTubers I don't follow because I got tired of it. It's like, hey, what's oh wow, this person in the community did something silly. Oh, they did this and this. I'm tired. I'm about to just shut off. I'm about to just delete my YouTube account because I'm sick and tired of hearing about this. Oh, it's just annoying. It really is. It really is tiring. We have to learn to just be quiet more, listen more, and stop just assuming just because you see someone in a fursuit that there are all these stereotypes. This is literally the same things that I dealt with when I had to, deal with the facts of, of me being black, going into a school that's mostly filled with, different races of people, and it's just like, oh my goodness, you're trying to be smart like an Asian, like it's like God, it's like it's just a repeat of a repeat, except just fursuits. That's it's just a repeat. That's all it is. It's just a repeat. That's all I see. It's just a repeat of a repeat of a repeat. Except it's not race. It's your persona this time. People are just terrible. That's all I got to say, man. And we need to do better. Now, I love the community on how they organize charities, how they help the youth, how they inspire creative ideas, how they help create some of the best cartoons and animes out there, scientific discoveries. Um, again, going back to the art, you know, freaking construction workers, martial artists. I mean, the community is honestly a wide range of possibility, but no, let the people just focus on negative. Another big issue with this community are the YouTubers themselves who are so uneducated on what a furry is. These people drive me off a wall. These are the ones that are the biggest problems of this community. Forget all the other stuff that I talked about. That's just stuff that we can fix within our own community. These are the individuals that I don't understand. They like to make memes and jokes and all that stuff. Those are the ones that are a huge, big detriment to this community because they're so uneducated and they won't even take 5 minutes to educate themselves on what a furry is and think to themselves, wait a minute. So you mean like characters like Wacko or, characters like Lola Bunny or characters like, you know, Chip and Dale Rescue Rangers? Yeah, yeah, yeah. Like it's just 5 minutes. 5 minutes is all it takes. You want to know how long it took for me to learn about a lot of the sexualities of the LGBTQ? 10 minutes. It only took me 10 minutes to do this. 10 minutes. Are people this lazy that we can't even do 10 minutes of research, but we can scroll through 60 videos on TikTok? Give me a break. The reason why I get frustrated with a lot of these people is because it's not them. I get it. They got to make their jokes. They got to make their money. I understand. If the ones, if the ones who do it to such an extent where it cause other people to send witch hunts on innocent furries, those are the ones I can't stand. If you see a furry, just attack them. Jeez, what does this remind me of from years ago? All right, with the KKK, you see someone that's black, get them. Doesn't matter if they're nice, just get. It's like that. It's just, it's, it's, it's not the same. And of course, you got someone. It's not the same. Really, really, okay. Like really, it's not the same, right? It's not the same, guys. It's just someone with a mental illness and a persona. It's weird, guys. It's weird, you know. You want to know what's weird? Is when people can't mind their own business. It's when people are so focused on trying to flex their success instead of just growing it and helping others to be as successful, regardless of whether they're furry or not. But yet they take the time to talk about how much they don't like furries. Those are the biggest weirdos I've ever met in my life. And they're praised. They're praised for what they do. And they get paid for it too. And it's just, yeah, I'm a weirdo for being a pony and just making content, but if a person hates that, they're above society. Hatred is now the new way to show love to some of these people. We're showing tough love because we're tired of seeing. I'm sick and tired of people just being hateful. And it's not just towards furs, it's towards races, it's towards genders, it's towards sexualities, it's just towards that, and most importantly, it's towards themselves. When a person shows this much amount of hate towards the community or whatnot, it shows you how much they hate themselves. Just that simple. So to the people that like to make memes and jokes, and I get people say, "Oh, just embrace it." But when's enough gonna be enough? All right, when's enough gonna be enough? Because eventually, even us black folks had to say, "Enough is enough. This isn't funny anymore." Oh, you're just a snowflake. You're just a snowflake because I called you the N word. You're just a snowflake. You're supposed to laugh. Like what? Like really? That's supposed to be funny? Great childhoods y'all must have had. So how do we deal with that? It's not just through education, it's through standing our ground, being proud of who we are. If you're a furry, man. Be proud of it. Just be proud of it, man. People want to make fun of you. Listen, I had to do the same thing, man, when I went to my school. People try to get on me and stuff because I was a smart, educated black man mixed with Native American. And you just have to stand tall, be a light, and just be different. Okay, just be different, and eventually people will follow through, and the others they're just gonna stay stuck on stupid and just constantly hate you. Ooh, I'm saying words I'm not supposed to say on TikTok. I really don't care because this needs to be said. I've been holding this in for a long time. And I would say what really motivated me to want to do this is when people started, wanting to come to me and start judging me and start attacking me and started blocking me and started banning me. And that's when I say, okay, enough is enough. Enough is enough. 3 to 4 years of patience. So trust me, let me have this. Let me cook. And if I'm wrong and if I lose followers over this, that's perfectly fine. It's perfectly fine. I just love how some people in this community cannot see themselves. How they hail themselves as heroes, as gods, and whatnot, and they feel like they're just great person that just try to keep everyone safe, not even realizing that they're helping to destroy the very community that was made from the OG furry who believed in togetherness and love and care. And while I will admit that some of the 18 plus streamers can go to the extreme and just freaking just don't have a filter, I can also say the same thing for SFW streamers who do the exact same thing, but it's not out in the open. It's done in a way where they are literally policing people in what they do. Let me tell you something that's incredibly psychotic that I dealt with, okay? Anytime someone invades your personal privacy and says, because I saw you do this, this is a violation of the community rules, I'm going to ban you because of this. That is a sociopath. You hear me? That is not someone that is normal. You are literally invading someone else's privacy who has nothing to do with you, and you're stating, oh, now you're a danger to my community because you are doing something that violates the rules outside of my group, outside of the community, outside of the instance. Don't you think that's kind of psychotic? And if it's not, then I don't know. If I go to a friend's house, right, and I see them smoking weed, right, Am I going to just barge in and tell them, you should be doing that? I mean, you can, and then of course the consequence could either be I get cussed out, or maybe they'll be like, you know what, man, you're right, man. I'm trying to work on myself. But 9 times out of 10, they're going to look at you and say, I'm not in your domain. I'm not in your house. You are in my house that I invited you to, and you're going to tell me what to do. You're out of pocket. You're out of order. And honestly, the only thing I can say is you're right. I am out of pocket and I am out of order because I'm in your domain now. It's just, if you ever meet a person like that and they try to tell you what to do in your own home, I don't care if they're like, I can't believe you do this. We're supposed to be bandmates and stuff. Put them in their place and say, you're not my mom. You're not my dad. We're nowhere near the fans. We're not even, at the workplace. This is my home, my sanctuary, and this is what I'm going to do. You're trying to tell me what to do in my home? What? If you ever deal with someone like that, man, you need to put them in their place. Just straight up. And if it causes you to get banned or blocked by that person, don't matter, because stand your ground, man. Don't let nobody try to bully you and tell you what you're supposed to do in your own home. That is insanity, man. That is insanity. I've heard stories about stuff like that. It happened to me, and I was just like, oh no, we cannot be friends. Ever. You ain't gonna come and tell me what to do outside of your community. Craziness. Craziness. It's not a good person. I don't care what anybody says. That's not a good person. That is someone who needs to be mentally evaluated, or they need to learn, the difference between what's is allowed in their domain and what's not allowed. But if it's not within their domain, you shouldn't care. Big issue with the community. Bit nosy, always trying to figure out what you doing, and then when they find out, oh, I thought you were like this, and cut them off. Just cut them off. That's just where I'm at. That's my advice. Cut them off, because they're gonna treat you like that in VR or social media. Guess what? And if you're thinking about, oh, I want to marry, that's how they're gonna treat you. That's how they're gonna treat you IRL. Y'all meet. That's how they're gonna treat you. They're gonna treat you like that, telling you what you can eat, what you're not supposed to eat. Yeah, and those people do exist. They do exist. Oh yeah, they do exist, and they are annoying, and they need to learn to mind their own business. There comes a point when you should intervene. There comes a point where you shouldn't. And I'm just telling y'all this right now. If you are a streamer that does this, you need to stop. You are violating that person's freedom. You're violating their rights. It literally, they are doing their own thing in their own instance, and there's no minors involved, and it's just all adults. You have no right to go to that person and tell them they shouldn't do this when literally you came to their own instance. It's like going into someone's home and telling them you're not supposed to, I don't know, have the forks on the left side. They're supposed to be on the right side. No, 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 no. You're being rude and disrespectful is what you are. And if you ever have friends like that, please put them in their place. Put them in their place. Do not let that slide. Do not let that slide. Because they're being disrespectful. Uncle Collins is being disrespectful. So where are you getting at, Wilkins? Are we close to the end? Honestly, pretty much. We are close to the end of this. Long story short, all right? And the reason why I'm saying all this, because I want people to understand that my time with the community, while it has been amazing, it's not perfect. It has its issues. And I feel like a lot of this needs to be addressed, because a lot of people aren't talking about it because they're too scared, because they're more focused on their followers. They're more focused on this than to actually telling the truth. People really want, these anti-person stuff to stop. How about you start being honest and just start telling the truth and saying, yeah, this goes on in our community. Yeah, we deal with this. Yeah, this is my story, what I dealt with. And listen, Notice how I didn't have to name drop nobody. I didn't have to say what X, Y did. I just said my experience, and that is that. And it's so easy. It really is that easy. You could just say what you need to say. You don't have to name drop nobody. Stop name dropping people unless you're being, respectful to them. Because it just makes you look bad. Just say what's on your mind and just that's it. So I have no really bad experiences with this community, but there are a lot of gripes that I have with it, and that's okay. It's okay, and I still love being a furry, and I still love this community. It's just those are the things that I just want to bring to people's attention. And if people are offended and mad about what I have to say, good. Please be mad. Please be offended because this needs to be addressed and talked about. We should not keep this under wraps and act like this stuff does not happen because it does. It does. And it needs to stop. Let me tell you something. Dragoneer and OG Furry did not die for this, okay? They did not die to see us bickering, arguing, fighting, and just constantly being segregated and whatnot. And we have to be careful of who we let in the community as well, because if we're just dealing with people who have no idea what a furry is, I feel like it should be a requirement that before anybody becomes a furry, they should be educated. You hear me? It should not just be, oh, I like this character and now I'm a furry. No. We should literally just make it where you have to at least know some things. Like, hey, do you know this? Do you know? And there are videos that talk about that. Oh, trying to spot a fake furry or whatnot. And it's like, well, I already debunked that, stating that there's no such thing as a fake furry. It's just a furry in denial, or just a furry who just doesn't fully understand what a furry is because they refuse to educate themselves. So, the biggest gripes that I have is not with the quote unquote big superstar furries on here. It's the fact that there is such division and segregation that it makes no sense. And it's hidden because you don't know that's happening. You don't know that's happening because when you see the poster, oh, they're just loving, they're kind. But this sadly is what happens in this community. Is it being worked on? Yes. Are they doing a better job? Yes. Are they doing the best they can to like snap people out of it? Yes. But I feel like we can do a little bit more. Like honestly, there needs to be more. There needs to be a program within the community where we help furries from, stop furries from being homeless, or help teach them, work skills, or like just nonprofit, like a nonprofit organization that could just help them get back on their feet. Or, maybe there could be a way where, hey, like we could teach them how to make their own fursuits, and then if they want to pay the big experts that charge $5,000, $50,000 for, freaking kimono suits, hey, but at least they have the knowledge to at least make their first fursuit. I feel like every person should have a fursuit that doesn't cost them an arm and a leg and cause them to go bankrupt or be, on the street. That I can definitely say. And if anyone gets mad at me for saying that, that's perfectly fine. I really don't care. Because the reason why, some furries do what they do is because of that reason, because they just don't have the money. Bonus issues that I have. This closed species nonsense. This is a closed species. This is what? What do you mean it's a closed species? What do you mean by that? Like, I get it. Money. That's all I care about. Oh no, it's artistic. No, money. That's all it's about. It's all about the money. Just money. That's it. Just money. Oh, it's closed because this is my original character. Listen, any character that I end up making in the future, it will forever be open. I do not believe in that closed nonsense. Okay. Here you go. Here's a character. Do whatever you want with it, okay? Now, of course, if it's like that one character, I get it. Everyone deserves to have at least one close, like OC and stuff. I get that. But if it's like, oh no, this character is closed, like what? it's just kind of confusing me. So it's like, wait, so you're telling me if I make a different version of this character that happens to look like this character, you can pretty much come after me and sue me, even though I'm not trying to make a similar species of that character. And it kind of sucks that a character is closed, which means that we'll never see that type of character, shown in an anime and whatnot. And I'm like, man, like, really? You have to close off a character to prevent other people, those that are like young, like 16 or 17 or 18, that are just now getting into the fandom to like, I mean, how cool would it be to actually see that character like in VR chat or whatnot, or like some video game? But nope, it's closed. So technically speaking, it's not possible. It's like, it's just why are we like this? I don't understand why we do some of the things that we do. It's just I don't get it. Listen, to all the anti-furries, man, I get why y'all have issues with us. I really do. I'm not even gonna sit here and act like that. Oh my goodness, they shouldn't be saying that type of stuff. It's when you think about it, it's like, yeah, I get where you're coming from. I get what you mean. Doesn't make what you say right. It doesn't make what you do, right. But it's like, it's no wonder why this community gets meaned, dunked on, made fun of, and everything when you hear this type of stuff that goes on within the community. And it's just like, yeah, I get what you mean. I really get what you mean. But it's just closed species, open species. How about just make your own character? Listen, here's how you beat this open closed nonsense. You take two characters that are open, you combine them, there you go. There's your persona. It's that easy. It's really that easy. It's like you don't need to try to pay no freaking 600 or no $6,000 just to have the rights for a ref sheet for a closed species. Please do not do that to yourself. Like, you don't have to. If you can, you're rich, fine. But I'm like, why bother when you could just make your own character, your own unique persona? We need creativity. I literally made a TikTok about this, talking about how we have these type of avatars, but we can't have this and this. It's like, what is going on with this community, man? What is going on with this community? And of course, to debunk the whole, oh, all furries are horny and stuff like that, blah, 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 yada, yada, yada. Just look up human nature, look up how it works, look up how people can be attracted to, of age. I'm gonna say of age, just people and whatnot. It's just when you add science to it and a little bit of psychology and common sense, it's like, oh, okay, it just gets annoying when people say that stuff like, oh my goodness, y'all are so weird. You humans are weird. You humans just like to judge and freaking, attack people. You humans are the ones that freaking destroy your own economy over the silliest of things and vote for people that lie to you. It's just weird. The furries are weirdos, right? But y'all are just as weird. Okay. Can we just admit that we all have a little bit of weirdness and stuff? It's just can we for once just stop kidding ourselves and acting like that this is better than the other? I don't know. I don't know. Listen, every single community has its issues, its problems, but let's just be real. A lot of what people say on YouTube about furries is mostly just personal, experience. Now, when it comes to exposing like the really bad ones, I agree and I understand, but people should not make that a thing where it's like, oh, well, because I learned from this big YouTuber with 1 billion subscribers, now I know to never be a furry again. It's like, really? You're going to let this big shot, and I'm just going to call them a no name because I have no idea who they are, but apparently the universe knows who they are, you know, tell you that you can't like something because of this controversy? That just shows you how shallow you are as a person. Listen to a song called, like Free by Powerman 5000. How sad does your life have to be that someone who is bigger than you has to tell you what you can and can't like because of a couple of bad individuals? Listen, there's good people of all races. There's bad people of all races. There's good people in this community. There's bad people in this community. There's good people in the Star Wars community. There's bad people in the Star Wars community. It's like if you want to be a snowflake and act like, oh, I'm just gonna wait for the perfect community, then you might as well just do yourself a favor. If you can't deal with anything in life, go to your ISP company and just tell them, here's my final payment. Shut off my internet. Just shut the internet off. If you don't want to deal with anything or people or be triggered, just shut off the internet. You're going to deal with something regardless of where you go. I told you all my gripes that I have with the community, but I also stated mostly positive things about the community. Stop kidding yourself and thinking that just because you join a community that you're not going to deal with awful people. You are. But if you keep telling yourself it's all awful, then guess what? I guess you're right. It's all awful. If I had that mindset about this community, I would have never met a lot of great people in the community. Yes, some of these people that I met first had some big egos, but over time they learned to grow out of it and be a huge, great part of this community. People learn and grow as they go, but if we keep lying to ourselves, thinking that, oh, well, you know, this person told me blah, 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 so apparently it must be true. And yeah, they could be right that it's true, but you're just gonna let them dictate your life. I will be dog diddly darn do if I let someone that I barely know, that's not my mom, not my dad, not my uncle, tell me what I can and can't like. Like what? I'm sorry, man. That's just if that's you, if that's you, then I feel sorry for you. If that's you, that you have to follow a crowd just because someone is more popular than you, and that person probably won't even give you a lick of a tip, or at least I don't know, $5 so you can get something to eat. I'm sorry, really. I just really be careful on like who you associate yourself with, and that's with any community, that's with anybody. And just because that person is different from you, acts different from you, or has maybe do things that are out of your norm, doesn't give you the right to block, ban, and kick a person just because they're different from you. If they're not doing anything to minors, if they're not doing anything bad, but it's like, oh, well, but they're inappropriate, then you should have set that boundary the moment you became their friend. And because you didn't set that boundary, well, that's what you get. You should have spoke up and just told the truth. I'm just gonna be real with you. You, the grown adult, should have spoke up. And to all the minors that keep talking about they're being harassed, hit the block button. Seriously, hit the block button, hit the mute button, or just stay off social media. Just stay off social media, and there you go. Problem solved. I'm getting harassed online. Problem solved. Just get off. Just get off. Just delete your accounts. There you go. You're done. Come back when you're 18. Come back when you're 19. There you go. Problem solved. Oh, and guess what? Oh, I'm 18, 19 now, and the problem is still there. Like, yeah, imagine that. Wow. Just wow. Like, oh my goodness. Listen, this community is awesome. It's amazing, but it does have some. Does have some things that do get on my nerves and grind under my skin. And a lot of people need to understand that this is my experience of what I dealt with. So people just need to. And of course, there goes the TikTok stream. I don't care. Who cares about TikTok? But anyway, people have to understand that this what we deal with is reality. And you can't keep hiding and acting like this stuff doesn't happen. And people are going to talk bad about set communities because, oh, whatever. I'm not talking bad. I'm just giving my 2 cents. I already know about the bad that goes on in this community. I already know the good that goes on in this community. And the good will always outweigh the bad. Everyone wants to say, oh, the Sonic community is full of autistic people, blah, 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 blah. But in the midst of all of that, they forget about all the good that happens because people in general just love their negativity. They love it. They thrive off of it. It's what fuels them because that's just how sad people are as a human race. We gotta always talk about the negative. Yep, that's just how we are. It's just how we are. I told myself that I'd be a professional, try to break this down, but there's just certain things that I just really have to get off my chest because enough is enough. I want the furry community to do better. I want them to really humble these big time streamers, musicians, actors, and let them know that you are just as human as the rest of us, and to stop acting like you're better than everyone because they are definitely one of the big problems. You got to learn to humble people. I had to do it with a big streamer in an instance. I had to humble them real good to let them know that yeah, you're big time out there, but here it's different. It's completely different, hon. So you gotta let them know. And everyone wants to feel big. Everyone wants to feel like a star. But all of that comes with responsibility. And I get it. You have an image to uphold and you don't want it to be tarnished because of that one person. Honey, the only person that can tarnish your image is yourself, not the people that you associate yourself with. It's honestly you. You're the only one that tarnishes your own image because of how you treat set people that are in your corner. If you treat them like dirt, it just says a lot more about you. It shows just how much you truly care about the safety and integrity of your community. No, you only care about yourself. Any person that says, I care about keeping my community safe, no, they are talking about themselves. They're not talking about you. They're talking about themselves because they can't keep all 1,000 or 10,000 of y'all safe. They just only care about their image as long as their image is safe. Community, their image is, as long as their image is safe, yeah, that's all they care about. Just gonna be real with you. And not everyone's like that, but that's just how some of them are. Sorry, just gotta keep it real with you. You know, be very careful of the words that you hear from people when they say safe, because their definition of safe is completely different. It's completely different and just bonkers, honestly. And with all that being said, I think that's pretty much it. There's nothing that's going to stop the community being talked about in a negative light, no matter what I say and do. But I feel like more of the furry community needs to talk more about their experience. They need to state the good, they need to state the bad. It's not just, oh, the good. No, they need to state the bad. And they need to stop always talking about, oh, NSFW, because that's just what they expect people to say. They expect them to say NSFW because that's just how they see us. You want to know how they see black people? No, I'm not talking about furries. I'm just talking about just a side topic. You want to know how people used to see black people? Ignorant, stupid, and always wearing gold teeth and having our pants sagging. Want to know what I saw in a VR world? Want to know what I saw when I typed in black? Just that stereotype. Yeah, funny how we talk about equality and some things just don't change. Absolutely disappointing. This world is so disappointing sometimes. Just gotta just say that. The only thing that we can do to prevent this from constantly happening is people need to speak out more. Not trying to talk about the negative of a community, but talk about the positive and negative. People need to be honest and state more about their experiences. No more of this, oh, it's all good. No, you need to state your personal experience. If you dealt with something that you notice in a community, you need to speak out about it, and it needs to be in droves so the community can do better. Not just trying to expose this one person, whatnot. It's helpful, but it also destroys the community. You need to honestly just state, hey, I've been in this community for this long, and this is what I noticed. But this is my solution on how we can make the community better. If we just do that, the furry community would be seen in a more positive light. There's just so much we need to do. But this constant censoring people isn't the answer. Banning, kicking people because you don't like them isn't the answer. It just makes things worse. And I can tell you right now, doesn't make you look good, especially when that person doesn't do anything wrong. It makes you look terrible. It doesn't matter how many 600,000 or 1 million or 2 million people you can hide behind. You can't hide behind the ugly truth of yourself, just treating people just as ugly as you are. Just being real with you. And I don't mean ugly as an appearance. I mean ugly as in your heart. You can have all the fans, but your true self will come out eventually. Just saying. And having a big ego will bring it out. All it takes is just one good person just to really work you up. And bam, there you go. But people would rather follow someone that's big and just tells a big old plate of lies, even though they say that they're not like that, versus someone who is genuine and real and honest, because their truth hurts and people don't like to have their feelings hurt. They rather just deal with someone that just likes to be silly and goofy or just do provocative things than to be honest. I would notice because there are a lot of people that I follow that actually build a brand and actually know some well known folks, and they barely ever saw 1 million views because they're just too real for society. They're too real for the people, and the people can't handle it. Ain't that funny? I find it funny. It's not just funny, it's just sad. It really is sad. The community is sad, but it can be improved. It's happy and it's amazing. They've done so much, but they really need to stop trying to hide the stuff that goes on in the community. And they keep saying the same stuff with minors and NSFW, but it's actually bigger than that. It's way bigger than that. It's how they treat certain people. It's how they treat others. It's how others treat other people, you know? It's just it's the stuff that I see, and it just needs to be improved. You're trying to create a community and whatnot, and there doesn't need to be this much segregation. Something needs to just be told, you know, when it comes to each community. You're part of a community, you're going to deal with some type of different levels of, you know, difference. And as long as boundaries aren't broken, then who cares? I deal with the Sonic community and they do their own thing just as long as minors aren't involved. You know, it is what it is. It's just, and the same thing should be with the Furry community. It should be free and open. It should not be this segregated. This group has this group, and this streamer has this group, and this group, and this group, and join my group, and join. I'm tired of it. So annoying. It's just, it's irritating. It's really irritating. So much for, you know, being together, and we can't even be together. And when we are together, we can't even have meaningful conversations because it's just difficult. But then again, that's not even a furry issue. That's just a people issue. And it's just ridiculous to me because there's so much to talk about. So there you go. This was part one of my 3-part Omega stream, where I pretty much had to talk about my actual experience with this community. It was not pretty. I know I probably said some things that possibly got me banned from some streamers, and that's okay. Because they just show me who they are. People need to be more honest. They need to stop acting like this stuff doesn't happen. They need to stop acting like that their own communities don't have problems. And they need to address said communities. They need to, you know, really, you know, figure out what is it that they need to do. And the answer is not to be depressed and give up. It's to do better, you know. It's to simply do better. And if we can't even do that, then we let down the OG furry creator, and we let down Dragneer, and worst of all, we let down ourselves. They're going to always talk about us. They're going to always be negative towards us. But we just have to continue to just do what we do best. And we need to stop letting these... I'm not really a furry having folks in this community. Like, seriously. We need to stop this. We need to just let them know You either choose. You're a furry or you're not. We need to stop allowing them to constantly keep talking about I'm a furry, I'm not a furry, because they're also making the community look bad. Don't talk about you're a furry and you're confused and you don't know that you're a furry. Enough is enough with that nonsense. These folks need to be put in their place as well. Probably even more than everyone else. Like, you can't just talk about, oh, I'm a furry and I'm not, and then you talk, trash about other furries. It's just no. No. That's not, no. Just stop. You're either in or out. You could be in the middle, that's fine, but you're either in or out because you're not going to be talking about, oh, I'm this and this, but then you talk about trash about the community. I'm not talking trash, I'm telling the truth. This is the stuff that goes on and it needs to be taken care of. I'm not saying eradicate, it needs to be taken care of because it is a problem. You want to know why people have so many issues with furries? I just stated a lot of the reasons. Besides the two main ones that everyone keeps talking about, because they're so uneducated that they don't get that it's a bigger issue than just that. Because that just shows you just how uneducated even the big time streamers that are not furries truly are when it comes to this community. And they need to be handled and dealt with through proper education. Education is power. And wisdom comes through experience and set education. If we want a lot of this to stop, we got to do the work and educate them. None of this nonsense about, oh, well, oh, so obviously you're doing it. Like, enough is enough. I feel like it should just be a rule that in order to be a furry, you need to be educated by someone what a furry is. They need to know the good, the bad, and then they need to make a decision. So that way the real furries can be in the community and the ones that are, quote unquote furries but have bad intentions can be weeded out immediately and gone. That's just how we're going to stop this. That's how we're going to win. And I hope that I never, ever have to make another stream like this again. Because it hurt to make this stream. Because I love this community so much. And it's a shame that I was one of the victims that had to deal with a lot of this nonsense. And now it took me this long to finally just say enough is enough. I'm making this stream. I want the community to do better because I love this community so much. I really do. I'm sick and tired of seeing all of this nonsense that I hear about this community. I'm sick and tired every time I go into VR chat and it's always someone having beef with someone that I barely even know. I'm just tired of it. And it has to stop. It has to stop. Now, the rest is up to you all. I gave you anti-furs, whatever. I gave y'all pretty much all the ammo. I spilled all the secrets. But just remember, before you take this bit of information, just know that your community probably deals with the same thing. So instead of always trying to destroy one another, how about we actually temporarily work together? You know what I mean? Notice how I said temporarily because let's just be real. If you don't like us, you don't like us. But you have to admit, this is kind of annoying. And this needs to be handled and addressed and dealt with. I told y'all and I warned y'all that it's just certain groups of people in the community that are making the community look bad. And it's not the NSFW. Told y'all it wasn't mostly just them. I already told you who was responsible. So now you have to choose on how you're going to deal with them. I say you address this to them. Share this live stream. Let them hear me out. And if they have any questions, let them come to me. And I will tell them my personal gripes that I have. and how we can resolve and fix it. We got to do better. We have to. Not just for, you know, ourselves, but for the future generations. And can the furries please stop treating bronies any different just because they're ponies? We are just as furry, just as the rest of y'all. Horses have fur. You know that, right? Just thought I'd bring it up. We got to stop being so selective. We got to stop calling one another weird. We got to stop with the name calling. We got to stop. We need to be more united, honestly. You're talking about a community that is pro LGBTQ, regardless of what your sexuality is and what your gender is. We got to do better. We need to do better. This is Wilgan speaking. Make sure you share my live streams, my videos. Check out my Instagram, my Yashahu. Check out my Trovo. And stay tuned for part 2 of my Estranged Street Part Omega stream. Because the next topic is bronies. And they're just as bad. And I still love the community.